Alright, so it's been a little time since whatever happened last. Oh, I know what happened last, but I'm not sure if I made it into another episode or not. I went around and gave some gifts, specifically to a certain individual. I got Happy C rank now. Now, we're gonna do some sports, and I'm hoping that I will. The only reason I'm gonna do the calendar now is because I'm expecting Lysithea to hopefully show up. Okay, I need her. So, anyways, who should we start with? Well, I think I'm like literally. Let's see. Yeah. Let's check this out.
Well, look who it is. How are you, Chatterbox? Gotten the hang of the whole teaching thing yet?
That's ironic you're calling me Chatterbox. Well, I know, in the sense of she barely speaks too, I would say. I would say so.
That makes sense. You certainly strut around here like someone who belongs. You seem like one of those people who blends in. I could see you just about anywhere and think, oh, that person's here. Makes sense.
Well, I think that's the whole point of an avatar.
I wasn't paying you some sort of compliment. To me, it doesn't matter whether or not you believe in the goddess.
Really?
You're here supporting the church, and that makes you no different from the others.
Oh.
I can't stand that.
Gotcha.
No need to apologize. I just have a rocky history with the church is all. They betrayed me, or at any rate, horribly mistreated me.
So I see or heard from your stats? That's a cult way of putting it.
So I'm not a huge fan, but keep that to yourself.
Well, you're confiding in me, so I'd assume that means you trust me to a little degree?
When I was little, a lady locked me up and held me captive for a long time.
And I find it ironic that Happy's the redhead, and yet she's saying she has been betrayed, just based on my track record.
The Knights of Saros rescued me, promised to protect me. But then they hid me away in Abyss.
Why did they do that?
So all the Knights did was move me from one cage to another. Wouldn't you call that a betrayal?
Absolutely.
It was all for the greater good. They didn't want to put anyone important in danger.
Anyone important?
As for me, my life was expendable.
Oh, because they were targeting you, so to make sure that those above ground weren't brought in the crossfire, they put you below ground.
That guy Alois was nice to me, though.
That's good.
He told me a bunch of hilarious jokes to cheer me up.
Oh, that's good. By the way, I got a gift that was a joke book, and it said on Happy's profile that she liked jokes. So I gave it to Alois. It belonged to him. So I was thinking that they might get along. Sounds like him.
I was being sarcastic.
What?
Alois wouldn't know a good joke if it landed in his mustache.
Oh, I thought. Okay, never mind.
Anyway, that's why I hate the church. Someday you'll hate them too. They only hired you because they needed a warm body to fill the post.
Well, that actually isn't true. It's a bit more. Which I wonder what you'll think when you find out the truth.
When you're of no use to them, they'll get rid of you without a second thought. Sorry, that sounded more menacing than I intended. I'm just telling you how these people think.
Which, by the way, I'm wondering about Happy's bluntness. It reminds me of something, but I'll wait until later to say that or not, what I think.
They have rules. Dogma. They want us all bound to their system so they can control us. I don't do well with that sort of stuff. That's why I ran away from home in the first place.
Ran away?
Yeah. Ran far, far away. But as far as I ran, it wasn't far enough. I got dragged back into society, chains and all. The kind of world I want doesn't exist.
I don't think that's true.
I'm getting too dark for you, aren't I? Forget I said anything.
Nah.
Your future seems bright, at least. You can just sit back and enjoy whatever comes your way.
Yeah, it's kind of not fair. To be frank, I think I'll be fine no matter what the route is. It's everybody else. It's literally what happens to everybody else is completely in my hands. Well, not completely, but you know, I make a big part.
I'm just saying, don't rest your entire future on the church. It's not as steady a foundation as it seems. Anyway, that's all. I'll be going now.
Now I'm curious, because Happy is the one who has one with... Yeah. Okay, I need to see that. Who's her third? It's Linhardt, right? Yeah. Well, who knows? Lysithea has one with Baltus, right? I gotta work on him next. Well, not next. Oh, there's so much! Okay, alright. Well, wait, why do I still have... Oh, Ingrid's. Okay, I guess we should do that now, too. Especially since I've already seen it.
That's the third time this month. Well, that's that. Father never relents. Oh, Professor. Hello. Did you need something?
And now that I think about it, this makes a lot more sense, considering what happened to Felix's brother. What were you doing just now?
Well, that is... I was just tossing out something I have no need of. It's important to keep our spaces clean after all. You'd do well to remember that too, Professor. A clean space makes for a clean mind, or some such. Getting rid of things you have no need for is the first step to managing one's belongings in an economical way.
Interesting, she's calling her the letter about, I guess, getting a fiance, something she has no need for. I think I went with that.
While I'd love to help, I don't want people getting the wrong idea with me being alone in your room.
And I remember that.
Despite my family's nobility, we've never been particularly wealthy.
Yeah, she's related to Judith, right? Which, I'm still salty about that. Why was Judith not a party member? I don't get it.
So my father raised me to be conservative with my resources, paring down when necessary. He also encouraged me to keep my living spaces immaculate. So the two go hand in hand, I suppose.
If we have to fight Judith, I would very much like to get Ingrid in a position to have a conversation with her, if that's even possible. I mean, she was in my house, but I don't think they talked. Did they talk once? I think they talked once. Well, I'll say that.
I think he'd be happy to hear you say that.
I think you said the same thing regardless.
Oh, just a scrap of paper. It was already written on, so no good for note-taking. And obviously, I can't use it to clean my lance.
Yeah.
So I tossed it. No need to hang on to inconsequential things, you know. Professor, did you come to check on me for any particular reason? I hope SYLVAIN and Felix aren't getting into trouble as they tend to do.
No particular reason.
Oh, well, if there's nothing important, I'll be on my way then. I still have some cleaning to take care of, after all. Talk to you later, Professor.
Okay. Well, I think that does it. Well, no. I got B ranks with all three of them. And SYLVAIN, now I think about it. With Lysithea, I meant to speak on it. If it's true that she will only join with an A rank, it makes me question whether it was really Edelgard's doing that stopped Petra from joining, or I could find out. It just, Petra only has one support here, though it is Ash. Without Claude, she had one with Shamir and Cyril. She made way more sense with the Golden Deer. Alright, well, for now, I think we'll start with Ingrid and work our way up, since we were just there.
Nightfall? Already? Suppose I'd better wrap up.
And we're even in the same place.
Good work with your training today, Ingrid. Here's something to wipe up the sweat.
Whoa, Mercedes. Hi. Hello. How long have you been... Thank you.
What's with the awkwardness?
You're very welcome. I've been here since you started.
That long? Huh. Well, my apologies for not having noticed you. I get so caught up in training, you know. But why are you here? I can't imagine it was too terribly interesting watching me.
I disagree. I just couldn't help but admire your training technique.
Makes sense considering the convo with Dimitri.
I have to say, you were very impressive. I'm nowhere near as graceful as you.
Graceful? I wouldn't say that, but thank you. If I'm to be honest, I'm the one who admires you.
Really?
Goodness, me? How so?
That's interesting.
You're always so put together.
What?
You hold yourself with such poise and have such a keen eye for fashion.
Then I don't think you know her that well. Sorry. Not that part isn't true, but the put together part.
I mean, even the handkerchief you handed me smells like lavender, is it? It's just lovely.
That perfume is a favorite of mine. I'm so glad you like it.
Even the fact that you thought to put perfume on your handkerchief is delightfully foreign to me.
Now that part makes
I'd
sense.
never have thought of that.
They do have parts that complement each other, I guess.
I'll gladly share some with you. You're welcome to come visit my room whenever you'd like. We can have tea and chat. How does that sound?
But I can't help but, since this is Mercedes we're talking about, feel like there's underlying. I need to check her supports after we're done with this.
That sounds really nice. Yes. Sipping tea and having a chat. It's unlike me, but it sounds lovely.
From now on, we'll meet up whenever we have time. We can go right now if you're free.
Oh, no need to trouble yourself and rearrange things for me.
It's no trouble at all. You'll never know if you're the type who enjoys chatting over tea if you never try.
That is true.
All right then.
Okay, let me see something. Oh, it's only a B. Okay, then we don't have anything to worry about there. Just, well, not necessarily that it's something to worry about, but I know that Mercedes is not opposed to getting an S rank if you are female. So, anywho, this is one of the ones I've really wanted to see. So.
That shopping trip took longer than expected, didn't it, Mercy?
It truly did. You bought just about everything in the place.
You're so good at deciding the best thing to buy. I sort of wanted it all.
That makes sense.
I mean, not that I was excessive. I think you bought just about as much as I did.
Oh, really? The number of bags you're carrying says otherwise.
I was about to say, that sounds like the definition of excessive.
What? That's... Oh, fine. You got me. I was just having too much fun. I love shopping with you, Mercy.
That actually makes me remember, Annette's considered royalty, and even though Mercedes has a crest, she's a commoner because, you know, she was originally from the Empire, right? So, all that to say, Annette would have a little bit more cash to spend?
It was fun. It's nice going into town without having to run errands for once.
Oh no, I wouldn't. See, I couldn't be on that trip.
Isn't it? And I'm pretty confident the professor will forgive our little detour.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
This actually reminds me of going to school in Ferdiad.
Me too. It almost feels like that time in our lives was a story from long ago.
That's interesting, because they're about 6 years apart. Yet they went to school together?
So much has changed since then. Oh, but there's at least one thing that hasn't changed.
Me and you, right? We're the same old friends we always were.
That's just what I was about to say.
I've known you so long I can always guess.
Mercy, we'll stay friends like this forever, won't we?
Why? What? Don't set up some flags!
Is something wrong? You sound worried.
Yeah.
Since our time in the capital, so much has happened. We've had to make new lives for ourselves, and we've seen at least as many hard times as good. If things keep changing like this, I wonder if we'll be able to stay the same people we are now.
I guarantee you two seem like you were very much who you were before, 5 years from now.
I wonder that too. I don't think everything in the future will be perfect.
You know, that's another thing about how Dimitri was in the Golden Deer route. I know it's based off of who I recruited, and it might not have changed him that much, but Ingrid, Mercedes, and Annette weren't with him. So that's another reason of, you know, did he have a kind spirit to, you know, calm him down? Whereas the guys were all like, yo, Dimitri, Let's go, man. Let's do this.
But it's us. So I'm sure
Though SYLVAIN seemed a bit hesitant about it.
We'll figure it out together, right?
how did you know what I was going to say?
Oh, Mercy. I can always guess what you're gonna say.
Guess tit for tat. What?
Oh, it's getting late. We better hurry back before the professor gets angry.
That's pretty cool. I never heard the bell in an actual support. It makes it feel more real, you know?
You're right. Run, Mercy!
Actually, yeah, they both had issues with time, didn't they?
What? Wait for me, Annie. You know I'm not as fast as you.
Run!
I have had these two at my party for the longest time. I think actually they were the first two. And I've never seen them have a support with each other. Oh, who do we go to? Let's see. We could go back and forth. SYLVAIN and Ash with Annette. Then both of them with Felix. Then Dedu. Yeah. We're doing Annette's. Then Mercedes. Then back to Annette. Okay.
Hey, Annette. Hitting the magic books again? Has anyone ever told you that you're pretty cute when you're studying?
Bruh, off limits. Well, not necessarily off limits. I mean, it's just with him. You know, it seems like we gotta have a line somewhere.
Sorry, SYLVAIN, but I'm trying to think right now. Could you keep quiet for a bit?
How can you stay focused reading a book that thick? With such small print? Is some of that text upside down?
If I use the formula in this line here, the magical energy should... No, that's not right.
I wonder how hard it would be to study magic.
You're even cuter when you're working through a difficult problem.
Because in every media I've seen, it makes it seem like it's incredibly difficult.
SYLVAIN, I'm serious. Please be quiet.
Hang on. Look at the third line. You've got the formula wrong.
Right, he's good at magic. I gotta work on that.
I said be... Oh, you're right. How did you know that?
I'm not sure if I'm gonna make him... I feel like I'm gonna make him a mage. Because you can train lances. You can still use lances if you're a mage, but with magic, there's only certain classes you can use it.
Well, I mean, it's written right there.
Similar to how I used with Lawrence. Though, only thing about that is I do know, because we have a whole map on it, his weapon's a spear. So, whereas Lawrence's was an actual staff.
Most people wouldn't be able to grasp this formula just by glancing at it. Have you read this book before?
Nope, this is the first time. Okay, now that I look at it, wow, this book makes things way more complicated than they need to be.
Yeah, I hear that.
And what's your take on this part here?
It's just describing another application for the same formula.
Yeah.
This is pretty easy.
Wow, SYLVAIN's actually pretty smart.
You know, you're actually kind of amazing. I've been studying magic for a while now, but even I have trouble with this stuff.
Wonder how he'd do against Lysithea.
You act like all you do is mess around, but are you actually working really hard in secret?
He's actually hyping me up for what his magic is gonna be. Or his spells. There we go.
Nah, hanging out with girls is way more fun. I guess I just picked this stuff up somewhere.
Yeah, I gotta train him. He just decided for me. He's gonna be a mage, and I'm gonna reclass him back to master some lance skills, I guess? I need to see his magic, though.
Life is short, Annette. If you waste it working hard, it'll be over before you know it. Get out in the world. Have some fun.
Well...
That's easy for you to say. You're strong and smart without even trying.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
So that's why... I was thinking Annette was like a semi-prodigy as well, but no, she just works hard. Not to say... Okay. Let me rewind. This explains why Lysithea is so much better at magic than Annette. Well, excluding her crests.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude.
No, I was just thinking you're pretty cute when you're sulking. You know that?
Bruh.
What is wrong with you?
Hey, I just got lucky with that stuff in the book. I'd normally never be able to outsmart you.
I'm not so sure.
Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here and leave you to it.
And I see what he's doing. He's trying to cheer her up.
Got lucky, huh? I'm not so sure about that. Well, that does it. It might be tough, but I won't accept second place. Let's go, me. I can do this. I'm gonna finish this whole book before sundown.
Oh, that's the spirit. SYLVAIN. I gotta get more of your supports now, man. Remind me, who were his, Lysithea! Darn it all. I can actually find out. And Marianne. And Lawrence. And Hild. And Leon. It's not fair. He should have been with the golden deer, darn it. Alright. Just reminding of how permadeath really, it hurts. Even though I didn't lose anybody except for Nadir. It's still, I didn't get to recruit people all the same. Because if it wasn't permadeath, I would have restarted the earlier save file. I would have played through the maps again. And just make sure I recruited Petra and SYLVAIN before Edelgard came. Anyways. Let's go to Ash.
Oh, Ash. Are you here to study too?
I am. It's quiet here. Easier to concentrate.
It really is. Hey, would you like to study together? We can help each other out if we get stuck.
Oh, yes. We'll get a lot more done working together.
I feel like this would be a good matchup.
What's the matter, Ash?
This question's got me stumped. A ballista inside a castle is ready to fire at enemies outside.
Huh?
What angle should be used for the shot?
What? I'm gonna just say 30 degrees. I feel like... It depends on, you know, how far away they are. The closer they are, the higher the angle needs to be. The further they are, the lower the angle needs to be.
Assume the ballista is the same as those in Garreg Mach. Ignore the effects of wind.
You got wind too?
This is for defensive strategy, isn't it? Why is it so complicated? Don't you just aim and fire?
Ash, you're an archer. You should know, man.
It may help to focus on maximizing target accuracy to reduce your miss rate. To start, let's sort out the setup. Let's see.
Oh!
Using these ballista specifications.
You know, what level are they supposed to... Well, I guess college level. That's what I would assume this would be. I mean, you have physics in high school, but all of the stuff that they're going over, the specifications, wind, the angles are pretty simple, but...
If the ballista corals follow this trajectory, they'll hit the enemy lines, right?
Oh, that makes sense. Because the enemy line will be here.
That's it! Okay, now try using that same technique and applying it to this other problem.
If the walls are this high and the enemy lines are at that distance... Oh, I think I see.
I can literally see how I would do the problem in my mind. Like I'm drawing my vector diagrams and everything.
I knew you'd get it.
Wow, I didn't expect math of all things to be useful in a siege.
Force diagrams. And yeah.
This is tough. Numbers are not my strong suit. But this really is the sort of thing you have to know if you want to command troops.
It is true. I remember many people have been saying that the Blue Lions are definitely more personal than the other routes. And already, like with Lysithea, I just get she's smart. You know, they don't really go into details to this degree, but with the Blue Lions, in particular Ash and Annette, we're going through the actual, not to the specifics, but I can at least get an idea of what the problem would be asking for with them. And just me personally, I like that.
That's true, but not everyone is good with numbers.
Yeah.
That's why we have tacticians do these calculations for us, or prepare them before we go to battle. A century ago, the Empire's mathematicians played a huge role in the Battle of the Wall of Fodlan.
Really?
I had no idea. Hey, you really know what you're doing, Annette.
You think so?
Definitely. You've obviously done a lot of studying. I really admire that.
Uh-oh?
I suppose I have. Studying is a necessity if you want the advantage over your enemies.
Very true.
But necessity aside, it's nice to hear you say that.
That's why I don't want hints for things, because getting information and determining what you make of it makes a big difference on the outcome of the battle.
Today's dinner is steak
Oh.
and then a cake that's yummy yum. Now it's time to fill my tummy tum.
What? I didn't expect another song.
Oh, this mountain of sweets and treats that I long to eat. Oh, stacks of steaks and cakes and crumbs and yums.
How can you possibly be mad at this? How?
I hope I'm not interrupting.
And she's in the same place, and with Felix of all people.
Felix, you weren't listening, were you?
What's he gonna think?
I heard enough to know that you're hungry.
That's fair.
No, I mean, well, yes. At least tell me you didn't see the dance.
I mean, it looked like you were doing it when he came.
You have nice footwork.
Yeah.
Get something to eat. I can take over watering the plants.
Oh, that's nice of you. What's up?
You're evil, Felix!
And you're shouting.
You can't just spy on people while they're singing without even saying anything. It's not right.
I actually did call out that I was coming in. It's not my fault you didn't hear.
Oh.
Well, you need to speak louder then. Ugh, this is so embarrassing. And of course I was singing some silly food song I made up. I should have been singing about bears.
What?
We're swamp beasties. Living in a land that's dark and blinded by the frigid cold, creeping through the loneliness for ages untold.
Oh, she can kind of sing.
In your heart, you're desperate for the sweet embrace of light, pushing through and crawling with all of your might. Here, creepy, creepy, creepity creep. Now, creepy, creepy, creepity creep.
Oh my goodness. This has got to be one of the most... Oh, Annette.
I didn't realize there were songs about bears and swamp beasties. That food song seemed to be close to your heart. Your stomach isn't far from your heart, after all.
Oh, you are the worst!
Huh. What was that about? I better water these plants. Wouldn't want them to get thirsty, or they might start singing too.
Okay, Felix. Okay. You're warming up to me, man. Or I'm warming up to you. There we go. Well, let's see Mercedes then.
Here you go, Felix. Have some tea.
Oh.
Is he studying now?
Sorry, but we're all out of cakes. Should I bake some more?
Please, don't.
Why is he not looking at her?
Oh, your clothes are so dirty. Let me wash them for you.
Mercedes, that's an interesting... I don't see how you got from A to B.
Mercedes, what's wrong with you?
And I noticed that, like, a bunch of people pronounce her name differently than she does.
There's nothing wrong with me. I'm just making tea. Is there something wrong with that?
You're not my mother. You don't have to bother with all this. I
Oh,
can do without it.
I got it.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. You just remind me so much of my little brother.
Really? Incredibly interesting.
I do?
Yes, his name is Emil. We have different fathers, but we grew up in the same household. That is, until I was about 8 or 9 years old. I haven't seen him since then.
Maybe, maybe not.
Sorry to state the obvious, but I'm not your brother. I'm not Emil. Can't you find someone else to bother?
Oh,
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
I mean,
I'll leave you alone.
you could have put it a little bit differently.
Please help yourself to more tea if you'd like. I can leave the pot. Goodbye.
Like, she came from a place of care.
Me, Felix Hugo Fraldarius.
Ooh.
There is no one else.
Okay, that's a name. I'm not gonna lie. Felix Hugo Fraldarius.
Brother.
Man, and he's got more. Ooh, what to do? Maybe I'll switch over. We'll see.
Dear goddess, please protect us.
Was thinking I was seeing Marianne for a second.
Mercedes.
Do all the healers do that? Well, I mean, the only other one I know of is Linhart.
Oh, to do. Was there something you needed?
His Highness sent me to collect you.
I see. I'll be with you in just a moment. I'm almost finished here.
You were praying.
I was. Praying for everyone's safety,
Always a good thing to do.
and praying for good desserts tonight, and that my next exam goes well.
Oh, the exams.
The Fodlan goddess will accept prayers of any sort.
Like, I didn't really hear that side of it too much from the Golden Deer. Like, it happened briefly, but not to this extent. Like, it just feels more real, you know? Like, students would be worried about their exams instead of just, you know, the next battle.
It's true. I've thought the same thing myself. That reminds me, Dudu. Weren't you born in Dusker?
And one thing I've been wondering is it obvious? Basically meaning, like, do the people of Dusker all look like Dudu? Or do they look different? Like, again, Ingrid and Judith are related. And, well, that's one example.
Yes.
Do the people of Dusker pray to the goddess too?
Interesting.
Dusker had a very different view of religion.
Really?
Oh?
In Dusker, there were many gods. The sky had a god. The earth had a god.
Sounds similar to the people of Elmira.
We made offerings to the war god for victory in battle. Held feasts for the sea god to calm the waves.
So your people prayed to different gods depending on what they needed?
Correct.
Your beliefs sound so different from ours. Tell me more.
Well, that might get him in trouble, Mercedes. Remember where you are.
Why? Dusker is a ruin.
Really?
Dusker may be gone, but you're still here.
Really? Oh, that's even harder than when I think of his conversation with Ingrid. It's like, if I think his people suffer for what they did, if he's one of the few left.
Would you tell me more about it the next time we meet?
If you insist.
Really? That would be great. I'm looking forward to hearing more soon.
Dusker is gone, but I'm still here.
I hope we get some more info on just what happened. I know we got what we got, but all right. Yeah, I'd like to see this one next.
Hold a moment, dog.
Okay. I didn't expect that.
Are you speaking to me?
I don't see anyone else here, do you? You're that boar's lapdog.
Have I had a conversation with Felix and Dedu yet? I'm not sure.
Do not mock His Highness.
Oh, Dedu got serious with that one.
Spoken like a good pet.
Wow. Felix, I take
Why
back.
do you follow him with such devotion? Do you really think a man like that is worth it?
Fargus destroyed my homeland. Burned it all to the ground. Slaughtered my people.
You gotta wonder why Dedu isn't more angry, actually, now I'm thinking about it.
The punishment of Dusker.
My father.
Wow!
My sibling. All were killed. We received no aid, no respite. Fargus murdered our dignity and torched our pride. His Highness is different. He is the only one who sees my people as human.
Wow, to me, I'm every time I hear more about Dimitri, my respect for him just keeps going up.
He risked his life to save mine, and it is thanks to him that I no longer wish for death.
Wow!
That's what we call blind obedience.
Look, Felix, in this case, I see, Dimitri's his reason for living. I wouldn't call that blind obedience.
Tell me, would you give your life for him?
No question.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what if he commanded you to join him in a senseless massacre?
That's quite far from what we're considering.
I would do it.
Even a massacre of children, or the elderly, or your own comrades.
See, I get where he's going for. He's basically comparing the tragedy of Dusker. His people participated in, I'm assuming, a massacre.
Without hesitation. You have misunderstood me. I am the sword and shield of His Highness. Weapons do not have a will of their own.
Blind obedience. You're right. I did misunderstand. I shouldn't have called you a lapdog.
That I don't see how this is support at all. Like they got further away, I'm pretty sure, from being close.
You're a rabbit cur.
Yeah.
You and the Boar Prince make quite a team. Two crazed animals.
But at the same time, I can't completely dismiss what Felix is saying, considering what happened in the Golden Deer route.
I warned you not to mock His Highness. I am aware you have a history of friendship with him, but one more word.
Whoa!
I've said my piece. Scamper back to your master.
Yo, this is not the Golden Deer. Okay, yo, Dimitri, I got a feeling that's gonna be just happy and sunshine. Shoot. Okay, let's finish with the do first.
To-do, hey. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not bothering you. Looks like you're pretty deep in thought.
Like, my goodness, man. I'm trying to think. Again, I think the worst conflict I got was Lawrence and Claude. And it was not that bad. It was just Lawrence being suspicious and wanting Claude to basically be a good leader. That's what I got from that. I didn't get anything like this. I didn't. Alright, let's continue.
Does it?
I just wanted to stop by and ask. It was your turn to cook last night, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, what, you like the food?
Well, it was great. I was wondering if you could give me some tips. You know, teach me how to cook.
And, you know, SYLVAIN has a little bit of a problem, but he seems like a very nice guy.
I hear a girl loves a man who can cook.
Well, I say that.
SYLVAIN,
Yeah?
you are from Fargus. You must understand how it appears for you to spend time with one from Dusker. To be near me is to invite tedious misunderstanding.
Yeah, from that I can see. You're not just talking to do.
Oh, please. I don't care who misunderstands what about me. I talk to who I want. Besides, I believe the Dusker people are innocent.
Whoa. What makes you say that?
You do.
Fargus and Dusker have been friendly since, heck, forever.
Really?
So why would our old friends from Dusker just up and assassinate our king? It doesn't make sense.
That's a good question. That's a very good question. And I sincerely hope... No. Why would Dimitri then be so...
Sure, there are probably folks from Dusker who don't like Fargus. But do I think there's enough of them to mount an attack and slaughter the king and his whole company of elite guards?
It is difficult to believe, considering the discrepancy in skill and number.
Yeah?
Right? At most, I can see a misguided group of people from Dusker conspiring with someone else who had plans to dethrone the king. Maybe they were even lured into participating and used as scapegoats. Regardless, it doesn't concern you or the rest of your people. A person can't be judged by the worst of their kind. Or where would any of us be? Besides, people like to talk about me anyway, so let them talk.
No, SYLVAIN, I appreciate, at least when it comes to people in general, his way of thinking. Don't let the worst of people define, or don't let the bad apples define, the whole bunch. Because I think people often at times do that, Because the bad apples stick out the most. It's the people who are doing normal, good things every day who don't cause problems. You overlook them often. So.
Okay, you're making a weird face. What did I say?
You set some bars, man.
I have misjudged you.
Yeah.
I was under the impression you only cared about women.
Well, I'm glad I've cleared up that misunderstanding. But really, there's no way I'm the only person who figured all that out.
SYLVAIN's actually incredibly intelligent now that I think about it. He's chill, but he's thinking.
There must be people who think like me in Ferdiad. including His Highness.
And that's what's got me considering Dimitri. Maybe things changed in this route, but from Claude's perspective, all he heard was that Edelgard was ascending the throne and that she was the Flame Emperor. Only thing I can think of is if the Flame Emperor, he saw them there? I mean, it easily could have been somebody else, as it happened 4 years ago, so you're telling me a, what, 13-year-old? Because I think Edelgard's 17 now. Did all that? And I heard from her words alone where it didn't matter who heard her. She blamed them for the tragedy, not herself. She wouldn't do that. Like, I'm pretty sure she's not the type to... If she did it, you know, she'd own up to it. But why does Dimitri blame her?
Agreed. But whatever the truth, we are still perceived as traitorous assassins.
Once a misunderstanding takes hold, it isn't easy to clear the air.
Very
Not
true.
without solid evidence of the truth.
Very true.
But even if we found evidence that your people are innocent, those negative sentiments wouldn't disappear overnight.
This route is fantastic. This route is fantastic. Man.
The only thing that can change that is time and effort. Depressing, isn't it?
I think if I was recommending, I haven't even like played the whole route yet, but if I was recommending somebody to play a route and they were playing Fire Emblem for the first time, I think I would recommend the Blue Lions from what I've seen so far. Though I don't know how Edelgard's route goes, so maybe it's a bit early to say that. And it depends on who you like, because somebody, well, I'll get to it later. Let me finish this first.
Time and effort. Yes, I believe you're right.
Yeah.
Man, that got serious. Shouldn't we lighten things up with a nice cooking lesson?
That's a nice thing, or a nice change of pace.
Very well.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody and they mentioned how they picked a route and they picked Edelgard. But I think they chose Edelgard for her team, but they didn't really like her. They haven't even seen, like, they stopped playing the game because of that. They haven't seen Edelgard become the Flame Emperor. And then I told them, you know, you should choose who I think the leader, which leader you like the most, because I feel like makes a great impact. Because even though the Golden Deer was casual, you know, I mean, I like my entire house, but Claude in general, you know, even when I see all three of the leaders together, I'm still like, that's my boy. But learning more about Dimitri, even though I've learned more about him, it's making me even more confused, actually, on why he would take such a drastic approach. I mean, I get he's angry, you know, but he seems like I would feel like somebody who did what Dimitri did wouldn't even stop to consider that the people of Duscur weren't responsible and would just blindly hate on them. But that's not what Dimitri did. There's too much I don't know. I can't speak on if I know that stuff. That's the whole reason why I ask people not to say things, so... Alright, well, with that said, let's talk to the man of the hour.
Good morning, Your Highness. Getting in some early training, huh?
And there should be no issues that come out of this sport.
Oh, it's not too terribly early. And what about you?
Oh, I'm just going for my morning walk. Hey, maybe you'd like to join me. It's a great way to start the day.
Yeah.
Morning walk? Funny. Gustav always kept the same habit.
Is that her father?
You really do remind me of your father, Annette.
I hear that a lot. Father was always busy with work, so he wasn't around much. But when he was home, he'd often take me with him for his walks.
Annette, something's been weighing on me. Something I've done terribly wrong.
That you know her father's here?
Your father. He worked tirelessly.
Oh.
I don't know if I ever saw him take a rest.
Like father, like daughter.
I feel as though, in a way, we stole him from you.
I'll admit it was a bit lonely growing up. But I understand. Father loved his work. No one ever doubted that.
Yeah, apparently he carried Dimitri's body out, From after he died in the most horrible way?
Actually, I've been thinking recently that I'd like to talk to you more, Your Highness.
Oh? Any reason in particular?
Father was a man of few words, both with myself and my mother. But sometimes he would tell me about you.
Huh.
So, you don't really feel like a stranger to me.
I get that.
In a way, it's like I've known you for a long time. Almost as though you're my big brother.
Interesting.
Your big brother?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I let that slip out. That was rude of me.
No, nonsense. I promise you, I don't mind at all. It's certain that my days would have been filled with more fun if I'd had a little sister like you.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
What kind of things did Gustav tell you about me? I'd love to hear more on this topic.
Do you really want to know? Well, for one, he used to tell this story about when you were a child, and...
You know what? Never mind. I have a bad feeling about where this is going.
Oh, really?
How about you forget we had this talk all together? And don't mention it to anyone.
What do you mean? Oh man, I wanted to hear it. And now it's time for the question of the day. And for this one, I want to ask you all, which song of Annette's did you like better? The Creepity Creep or the Sweets? So yeah, I feel like we could have a lighthearted question after I feel one of many kind of heavy eps of the Blue Lions, but please post your thoughts down in the comments below and I will see you all next time.